The Nashos didn't slack. They did their best. When you were discharged out and you had other mates that you knew before you went in and come back out, and they'd served in a war zone, so they had some kudos for what they'd done, and you were sort of like nothing, you know, if you get what I mean. It was sort of something that after a while you didn't mention. You never mentioned the fact you'd been in the army at all. And I thought everyone had gone mad while I'd been away. They were totally different, I thought. I didn't realise that I was the one that was different. 20-something years ago, I was approached by somebody to join Legacy. So it was sort of a comradeship there with people of all different things. Yeah, it gave you a bit of pride back.
When I went into the National Service and obviously did the 10 weeks basic training out at Kapurka, the major there at the particular time said to me, if you don't make this officer training, would you be interested in joining the psych unit and coming back to 17 psych unit at Kapurka? And I said, yes, that would do me very nicely. I'd done my 2 years, and then I think I was forgotten about, or we were forgotten about. I returned those friendships. I think it's only now, I was mentioning to someone over there, but I've rarely ever wore these medals, and I have been to one Anzac parade, didn't march, because I don't think I've earned the honour because I didn't serve overseas, which I feel a little bit difficult about, but I do believe that I've spent 2 years for National Service, and it did change my life, yes.
Leaving the army and trying to integrate back into civilian life was the biggest hurdle of the whole conscription process. The memory of the first day is something that will never be forgotten by any Nasho. When you're giving your civvy clothes in for jungle greens and you start to become a trained soldier, you feel fantastic about yourself. Yeah, but those first few days, you'll never forget that, I can tell you. I had a good time in the army. I handled the training and everything reasonably well, but getting out was a big hurdle for me. Got to put your hand up and ask for help. I have to say Open Arms is tremendous and helped me immensely, but I should have asked for help a lot earlier. We didn't know help was available. We were told nothing when we got out. Take the support that's given, and DVA now has really taken the initiative and doing some great things. So I'm suggesting take all the help you can get.
There was very few national servicemen that I was involved with that didn't feel that it interrupted their life in a negative way. And it was the selective nature of conscription that I was most unhappy about. When we got World War II clothing, and if it didn't fit you, well, we're going to change your shape in the next 10 weeks, so then you'll get good stuff. For instance, the trousers I had belted around my chest to get them to fit, get the legs off the ground. There were certainly national servicemen that were keen to go to Vietnam. There was certainly a lot that weren't. And one of the guys I went through Kapurka with unfortunately died in Vietnam. And that still shakes me up a bit to this day. He was what you'd call a good bloke. He didn't want to be in the army. It wasn't his choice. And he finished up coming back in a box or a bag. I'm now 77 next month and I'm still here to wake up in the morning. To me, that's a good thing.
At the time, I guess it was a bit of an adventure. Mine's quite a unique story. I went to officer training up in Skyville. I was there for 9 months, got booted out the day before graduation, and I don't know why. And I ended up at Pucka as an RDI, regimental duty instructor. I didn't know what I was to do. I was down there to teach these new recruits, and all I'd done was 9 months in the army, and I had to figure out exactly how many shots you had in your rifle magazine, how to march properly and so on. And I came from a banking background. I had no idea what this was all about. When it came to the instructing the recruits, I took it very, very seriously. I knew that it could be a great benefit to them to learn how to read the maps, how to fire the rifle and take orders and actually not be controlled, but to learn how the system of the army worked and how each cog fitted into the big wheel.
So there's no way that I was going to become a conscientious objector, although I may have thought about that at the time, but I would never been welcomed back to my town. My background was from a rural area, a soldier settler area in Western Victoria. Most of the adults that I knew were military people who'd served in the Second World War. I was working in the public service in Melbourne with the Public Service Inspector's Office, which was quite a career-driven area. I was also playing a few games for St Kilda seconds in the AFL, or VFL as it was, and had a fair bit of promise as a cricketer with South Melbourne. So to have that all disrupted, to go into the army was caused a little bit of anxiety. So I reported Puckapunya with mixed feelings, but with some positivity. National servicemen of our era have a proud legacy because we did our duty. We were forced to do it at a time of great unrest, civil unrest with moratoriums and things, and we certainly weren't looked upon favourably as we walked in civilian life with our short haircuts. That was a bit tough to get over, but I think in your 70s now, looking back, I think you can be proud of that time we spent.
I think we do have a legacy because we were called upon in time of need and we fulfilled that role, but now we've been forgotten. After that, after the end of national service, we've been forgotten about. I was pleased that my number had been drawn. I was looking forward to going and doing national service, and I think it maketh the man, and it was really, really enjoyable. My advice to anyone who's going into the Defence Force at this point in time would be to make sure your medical records are maintained all the time. Enjoy what you're going to do. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, get out and go somewhere else. But put your best foot forward and you'll be looked after by the Defence Force.